Welcome back to eSIM Studios. I have the Z Flip 8 here. We're going to do a charging test to see just how much power we can get to this device. It's rated at 25 watts. And before we get started, that's one of the few disappointments that I had with this device. I was hoping Samsung would increase the charging to 45 watts like the Z Fold 8 and Z Fold 8 Ultra. I think this device is mature enough, and I think the internals are safe enough for Samsung to increase the charging to 45 watts. So why they left it at 25 watts, I have no idea. Before the device was launched, we had leaks and rumors that Samsung was going to increase this to 45 watts. However, it's still at 25 watts. But nonetheless, we're going to charge it. I let it drain down. I charged it to 100% when I got the device, and I'm discharging it, trying to get it as low as possible, but the time of the day, I just need to go ahead and record. I'm not going to wait till 0 or 1%. But so look at the battery. The battery life, last charged to 100%, stopped charging one day, 19 hours ago. So I have not put a SIM card in here, and I've been using it, testing the cameras, light usage for the last 2 days without a single charge. So it has gone essentially 2 days on one charge. Now, I'm not saying that everybody that has this phone, or if you get this phone, I'm not saying it's going to last 2 days. Because remember, when you do put a SIM card in there, it does use network services, which does drain the battery. But that is one good thing about this Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. It's actually a very powerful, very efficient CPU. And actually the Fold 8, my wife is using the Fold 8. She says she's been getting phenomenal battery life on her Fold 8. So, and remember, it does take about a week for these devices to learn your usage, to optimize the operating system, to extend that battery life. So, pretty impressive right out of the gate. We're going to plug it in and do this charging test. But as you can see, I've been using the camera the most, obviously watching YouTube, and it's been pretty good so far. That's on since last charge, and let's see daily usage. I mean, that really doesn't give you much, but this is probably the best. Now, screen on time, I've got 4 hours, 14 minutes. Screen off time, 1 day and 11 hours. So you can see it was at idle, bunch of testing, idle, bunch of testing, idle, bunch of testing, and then we're at where we're at right now. And here is my usage thus far. So pretty interesting, but so far so good. And I think the battery life will be good on this phone. And real quick, before we do the charging test, getting back to the improvements, that's one of the bad things about the Z Flip 4 was the worst battery experience I've ever experienced on a Flip device. And now that was rated at 25 watts, but the issue with that was that the battery life sucks so bad that you would have a full battery by the time you wake up, and then you start using it, but by lunchtime it would be dead, and then you would spend the remainder of the day with the device plugged in because it had such slow charging and the efficiency was so bad that it was just always stayed plugged in. And speaking of efficiency in the CPU, this device over the last 2 days has not gotten hot, not even warm, not one bit. The last few generations used Exynos. That would get considerably warm, considerably hot throughout normal usage and when compiling videos. So I edit most of my videos on device on my phone. I edited the last 2 videos I uploaded on this device with CapCut, and it has not even gotten warm. So that's just a perfect example of the progression of this device, this powertrain, this CPU in here. So what I have is I got a OnePlus charger, OnePlus cable right here, and I have it plugged in to my 140 watt charger over here. So we should get maximum power. See, it's plugged in right over there. We should get maximum power on here to really see what kind of power this can pull. So we're gonna test it in milliamps and or amps, and then I'm also gonna convert it to watts so we can see just how close to that rated 25 watts we're gonna get. And if you're interested in this app, that I'm using. I'll put a link down below. I use this for all my charge testing. I'll put a link for the Play Store for you. Now, it shows milliamps, and if you want to convert it to amps, you see where that comma is? Just put a period. So instead of 3,300 milliamps, it's at 3.9 amps, or now 4.6 amps. Let's see what we can get it up to. Let's see, charging, AC charger, good, lithium ion. This was silicon carbon. Okay. It looks like it topped out. No? 4,800. And it takes, what the phone is doing is it's communicating with the charger to see just how much current, the maximum current it should allow going to the device. Now, it looks like it topped out at 8. There we go. Can we get up to 5 amps? No, it went back down. So it's just under 5 amps, which is pretty freaking good. Remember, this is supposed to be a slow charging device. Now, just for an example, my S26 Ultra, which is rated at 65 watt charging speeds, gets up to 11 amps on the same cable on that same charger. So 11 amps, just under 5 amps. It just goes to show you kind of how Samsung has programmed these devices, the difference between the two. Let me show you what my brick is saying, because my brick is saying 22 watts, and we'll switch the phone app to watts here in just a second. Let's not let that go dim. So you see up there 21, 22, 21. So we got 21 watts. It's rated at 25. Now let's do this. Since it looks like it's maxed out, let's go into the settings. Basic settings. Let's go to charging power in watts. Now this is an experimental this is an experimental feature here, which says display charging power in watts instead of current in amps. So let's go ahead and select that. Yeah, I get it. It's experimental, but let's at least see what it says. So it's giving us at the max 19.2 watts. And what's coming out of the brick is 21 again. Let's see. Let's move this right here. So 21 watts, essentially almost 19 watts. So there's a difference of obviously 2 watts between what's coming out and what's going in. But remember, this is experimental. Now, the cool thing with this is you can also close it, and I put the app on the outside cover. So what we'll do, why isn't this lighting up? And what we'll do is find the application Ampere right here, and you can measure it while it's closed, which is pretty freaking cool. Don't even have to have it open. Now let's go to, and let's take the watts off. Let's go back. And now you can check it without even having to open the device, which is really nice. Actually, using the outer display does save battery life as well, because you're powering a smaller OLED display and not, when you open it up, the big OLED display. So using this, that's what I love about this flip, is you can actually use the outer display for just apps that you want to check on, right? Like this, or the score of the Chiefs game, NFL, checking little messages, email, and then opening it up, you can, do whatever more intensive tasks. But using this outer display actually helps save the battery life. So interesting charging speeds, a little bit under what I expected, but nothing crazy, because remember, they do rate this at a slower charging speed than the other foldables, and I do wish Samsung would. I think that's the next generation of flips. Obviously, there was reports that this was going to be the very last flip ever made. Now, I got a hold of Samsung's roadmap for the next 2 years, and it does include a flip over the next 2 years at the very least. So at least we know there's going to be a Flip 9 and a Flip 10. I just hope on the Flip 9, on the next one, I think it's time to increase the charging speeds on here. It's not bad by any means. What are we at now? We are at 18%. And I think this video is about 10 minutes long. I think I plugged it in at 7 minutes. At 3 minutes into the video. So we've been charging for 7 minutes, and we've gone up essentially double the battery life. So 1% every minute, essentially. Which is pretty good, but it could be faster, right? It could be faster. And again, I think we're at the time where I think Samsung just needs to increase the the charging speeds on here. But really been enjoying this little device. Really nice. So if you got any questions whatsoever, if you want me to test anything out on this, please let me know. Let's see, is there anything else? Let's go into the battery. Now, if you have this device, you're going to want to check the charging speeds. So, I mean the charging settings. So, power settings, background usage limits, battery protection. Keeping your battery at full 100% charge for a long time can reduce its lifespan. Choose an option below to protect your battery and make it last longer. I don't keep my phones for a long period of time, so I want all this protection stuff turned off. When your battery is charged to 100%, when charging will stop, the battery level drops down to 95. Now, if you choose maximum, charging will stop at a level you set. Now, I don't want that at all. I don't want to protect the battery. I'm only going to use this for at the most 1 year, and I'm going to sell it and or trade it in for the newest model. So I'm going to turn that off. I want it to charge as fast as possible. And then let's see, battery information. Okay. Charging settings, slow charging information, show battery level and estimated time until full, always on display. Okay, whoops, we want fast charging on, fast wireless charging, I don't even use. But in the car, it does charge while it's on the mount. Okay, show charging. Did I say slow charging information? I meant show charging. I think y'all get it. Let's see. Wireless power share. I don't think I've ever used that ever in my life. I've never charged another device from my phone. Let's see. Auto dim screen. Interesting. So you can go through these settings and set it to how, you use your phone. I know not everybody uses their phone the same, and you might want to add the charging information. You might want to change these up depending on the charging settings, depending on how you intend on using the device or how long you intend on keeping your device. You might want to baby that battery. You might want to take care of the charging or slow charge it so over time your battery doesn't wear out as fast. Remember, these do have silicon carbon, but again, I only use mine for at the very most a year, and then I trade them in. So I don't care about that. I want it charged as fast as possible. I don't want to be plugged in for a long time. And actually, I don't even think it's not even getting warm, because normally when you got charging, your device would get a little warm. It's actually staying pretty cool, which I'm actually surprised. It's a very powerful CPU in here. And maybe that's why Samsung has it at 25 watts. Maybe with their internal testing, because they do test all this stuff, right? And maybe they had a Flip 8 rated at 25 watts, and an identical Flip 8 rated at 45 watts. Maybe the 45 watt one got hot, right? Maybe it didn't pass or it didn't meet certain standards, and that's why they've kept it at 25 watts. Maybe everything is crammed in here to these two separate components. Because remember, this phone folds in half. These two pieces are only connected by, a couple cables in here. underneath the display actually. And, one houses the battery, one houses the CPU and the memory and all sorts of stuff inside here. So maybe in their internal testing, that's why they have not increased the charging speeds. Maybe it does get too hot. Look, I don't know. I'm not in their internal. Obviously, I don't know what their speed, what their testing shows, R&D, but it's obviously rated at 25 watts for a reason. And I'm assuming 45 watts, it got hot. But as of right now, it's not even getting warm. So that's very good to know. So I think this is the very best flip device ever made. It seems like the Flip 7 was pretty damn good, and the Flip 8, which we got now, just improves upon that fantastic flip experience. And now that they have Snapdragon powering this, I think it really benefits this device. The modem, the power, the efficiency doesn't even get hot. So I think Samsung hit a home run with this one. If you got any questions whatsoever, please leave a comment down below and I'll get back with you. See, we're at 29% and we've been charging for roughly 13 minutes. So it's gone up 19% and 20% in 13 minutes. That's pretty good. Now it'll fizzle off. Let's check it real quick before we get out of here. It'll slow down as it gets closer to 100, but I mean, it's still decent. It's not like at a snail's pace at 25 watts. It'll charge decently fast up until probably 60%, 65%. And then as it gets closer to 70, it'll drop down in how fast it charges to 100. But looks pretty good. So far, so good. So very interesting. Hit me up if you got any questions, and I'll check you all in the next one. Peace.